Hey everybody, how are you? And welcome to Ascended Masters. I am here back again with our good friend Laura Van Tyne. How are you, Laura?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good to have you back again. If you haven't watched Laura already, check out one of the videos we did for her. You'll see it under the book section. So she talks about a really cool book called The Soul Tribe. Everybody loves that name. So check out how Laura defines that, what the actual vibe of the book is. And, I think you're really going to enjoy that a lot. Today, we wanted to bring Laura back. We talk about this often. It is so important in today's world for one to have a guide, someone that's going to help you through this journey, someone that's tapped in, tuned in, that you can resonate with, that can really walk you through these places. And Laura really just embodies that. Again, we wanted to bring her back so she can talk about how the gifts that she's tapped into, tuned into, see how she can help you with that. So Laura, how are you again? Thank you for coming back. And can we talk about your services, Laura, a bit more, much more?
I would love to. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I offer people help with unusual problems. And I do this because I had those unusual problems 15 years ago. One day, I was a middle school teacher. I taught middle school math and Spanish. I taught elementary school for a little bit too. And one day, my husband and I woke up, and one of our daughters, who was then 6 years old, woke up extremely psychic. And we didn't know what to do. My 6-year-old could do things like remote view, see through walls and doors in real time and in the ether. She, all these beings and entities wanted a piece of her. During this time, my psychic abilities came back into play. And so when I was a kid, I was also pretty psychic, but my parents had a different philosophy, and that was, don't be weird. It's kind of, so my abilities went away. And so I knew I needed to do things a little differently. And I had to study, I had to figure things out, because I learned in the process that, there's a lot of charlatans in this world, people who prey on people like me because I don't know what I don't know, but I know I need help. There's people who are very well meaning that are rather ego driven, and that help doesn't work either. And so I had to figure things out on my own. And this is back before the internet is what it is today. It's before all of this stuff became more mainstream. So when I was looking for answers, I was doing it in secret. I mean, I was as a teacher at my kid's school. Oh my gosh, you better believe I can't discuss this with anyone on the PTA, any of my coworkers, anything. And so as a result of this is why I do what I do today. I quit my job as a teacher. I had to, because I had to figure out how to save my family's soul, because everything was after my daughter and myself. They were after, I remember one night, my daughter comes racing in the room and she's like, Mommy, 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 the shadow men are in my room. And they literally said to her, we're going to steal her soul so that it breaks me.
Wow.
My daughter comes racing in, and I'm holding her, and her heartbeat is thumping so hard. I could feel it through her little body, her 6-year-old body. Going, I knew she wasn't lying. What kid could make up something like that? And that was that resolve that led me down this path, because I had to figure this out. I had to fight for my family's soul. What 6-year-old daughter says they're going to take my soul? That's not normal conversation for any 6-year-old. And in the process, I have learned what works, what doesn't work, how to do things. I am very, very particular about making sure that I'm clean and clear before I go from client A to client B. Because just like doctors wash between patients, right? Why don't psychics? And if you are looking for psychic help or intuitive help, ask that person, what do they do between clients to clean and clear themselves? How do they remove these dark entities and ghosts? What do they do with them? And the answer is if they bind them, bury them, cast them away, those are the wrong answers. We had a ghost child living with us for about 1.5 years. Her name was Annabelle, not related to the horror movie. Annabelle died, and she didn't know what to do, and she started living with us. And eventually, Annabelle wanted my daughter out of the picture, and she started harming my daughter. This ghost energy does transcend dimensions. And I was looking for help, but I still, even though this ghost child was harming my daughter, I could not banish her from my home. Because if that were my daughter, lost, who was stuck between dimensions, I would want somebody to help my child. And so we did live with that torture probably a little longer than I could have, but it was the right thing to do, karmically and spiritually, helping this child cross over into the heavens, to go home to source, to creator, whatever your word is for it, is a big deal. Because when I did that, I changed the trajectory of that child's soul for eternity. She was no longer in limbo, wandering around, and these dark entities are harassing her, because they do that to ghosts. So I do a lot of that work. I remove dark entities and dark beings.
That's a pretty wow, that's a very passionate outlook you had towards something that many would find it absolutely threatening, and you did too. It was just a different outlook you had on it. So here's a really important thing I want to ask you this. So when people, because okay, so everybody, just so you know, what you're looking at right now is I'm on the karmicpath.com, and I clicked on the services tab, and whoever did your site, nice job on that, Laura. It's really nice and clean laid out. It's very easy to follow there. Thank you. It's but I want to, what do you, when someone wants to book a session with you, and look, everybody, you got these different scenarios here that you can check out. So spiritual conversation here. What do you think is best for them to do, Laura, that they're prepared, so when they do have a session with you, it's the outcomes as successful as it can be?
A lot of times a spiritual consultation fits the bill for a lot of this. If I work with a lot of clients who are victims of MK Ultra, SSPs, and they have implants or entities attached to them, or soul fragmentation, if that's the case, I would go to entity removal and implant. But for most people, spiritual consultation fits the bill for a wide variety of what their needs may be.
Right on. Okay, cool. Again, thank you. As we mentioned last time, really, everybody, it's really important that, we acknowledge these, everybody, the great messengers out like Laura today, who are coming forth with these gifts that are really tapped in and bringing this. And that's some cool stuff that you're really helping people with. So you all know, it's pretty clear out there what Laura's services are. So if you are getting that, you're getting that stuff going down in your life right now, and, you need someone to reach out to, check out Laura at thekarmicpath.com, click on our services. We'll also have all the links in the description below. Laura, thank you once again for your service, and thank you everybody for thank you everybody for checking us out here today at Ascended Masters, and we'll see you all next time.